Why do Irish writers in the 19th century, and very often Irish Protestant writers, why are they drawn so much to the occult and the supernatural? And why is this a theme that actually projects forward into Irish literature? Yeats, of course, is the great example, the man who was, away with the Faeries in many ways, it was often thought. But he, as I've tried to show in my new book, he's very much in a tradition of Irish writers who are preoccupied by not only fairy lore, but by doublings, by mysterious disappearances, by hauntings, by lives lived in parallel with an occult and supernatural dimension. Irish fairies are really very scary beings, and what they're all about when you read the fairy stories, and this is very clear from Yeats's collections like the Celtic Twilight, they're about explanations for incest, for anorexia, for child molestation, for unexplained death, for animal illnesses, for crop failure, for all the everyday horrors of impoverished country life. They're also often related to politics. Fairies, you find out from reading Irish fairy tales, are very good at avoiding the police. They know how to handle guns, and they can help you in extraordinary and rather scary ways. One of Yeats's favourite pieces of fairy lore is how to get somebody whom you're in love with to love you. You have to find a freshly dead corpse and cut a strip of skin from its top to its tail, and when your loved one is asleep you have to bind this around her waist and she will love you forever. I mean, it's not very nice, and we don't know if Yeats ever tried it on Maud Gonne. I don't think he'd have dared. But fairy lore is full of these extremely unpleasant echoes, which Yeats is very, very attuned to. And the brutality and melodrama of much in the Irish supernatural imagination is there to be accessed. Yeats comes back to it again and again in his work, and some of his late poems, though we think of them as very formally experimental, and they often are, some of them also borrow a lot from Irish ballads at their toughest, sharpest and crudest, and they're very often about occult and supernatural themes. Nor does it end with Yeats. I think, though I'm not going to go into that here, that you can project the kind of Irish supernatural imagination right forward into the 20th century, notably in Elizabeth Bowen's writing, also in William Trevor's writing, and I think in the great range of Irish novelists who are writing now at a very, very creative moment in Irish literary history. You'll find these echoes coming into the work of Sebastian Barry, John Banville and Com Tobin.